Hello and welcome back to part 35 of Starcraft 1. In this episode, Tassadar was taken into Judicator custody and sentenced to stand trial for his crimes against the Conclave. Phoenix, Raynor, and Tassadar's followers escaped from the Conclave's agents as the Dark Templar slipped away in the chaos. So yeah, Phoenix and the Executor called Raynor, of all people, for help, and he showed up! Raynor is awesome. The Trial of Tassadar aboard Gantrathor. Because we are brave warriors.
And secure his release from the Judicator before they can execute him for treason. Without him, I fear there is no way to defeat the Zerg and their overmind.
Partially
Of
true.
course. I mean, for God's sake, Eldaris is in bed with the Overmind. They have a very weird foreplay.
No, Aldaris is just an asshole. He's not actively serving the Overmind. Hi, Jim.
This is Raynor. I'd like to help if I can. Tassadar laid it on the line for me and my crew on Char. I'd like to repay it.
Got your nose.
Surrounded by hostile aliens. I've got to do something.
Then you shall.
Bold human, you shall.
Bold human you are. Bold, squishy human you are.
Alright, we officially have the ability to produce carriers. I fucking hate carriers.
They're giving you a tip?
Yes. Carriers cannot attack without interceptors, which is one of the big reasons why carriers are fucking terrible. However, we do have access to 2.5 hero units. We have our first carrier, we have Phoenix, and we have James Raynor in the Hyperion.
So Phoenix and Raynor have to live?
Yes, they do have to live. But, you know, it's Phoenix and Raynor. They're really, really good. So, this mission wants you to build carriers.
This map looks... Fuck this mission. On that note...
Also, don't let Jim fight these scouts all on his own, because this happens. I can't repair James Raynor's Hyperion because it's a Terran mech effectively, and yeah, we're Protoss.
You can't repair Terran equipment.
SCVs.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah.
Well, he came at great risk to himself in order to uphold peace in the galaxy.
Yes,
Just
he
don't
did.
fuck up his ride. He paid good money for that.
You'll notice that I have my zealots and Raynor on patrol. This is because this is the second or third time I tried to do this particular mission, and we're going to be under constant harassment. Well, not constant harassment, almost constant harassment for the entirety of this mission. And that carrier that we have there, it's just going to float there for the entire mission, blocking my goddamn view. I could move it, yeah, but I want to keep it alive because, you know, it's a carrier. The big downside about the carrier specifically is not only do they take up a shitload of psi and space and are totally fucking useless in combat, but you want to keep them alive because they're supposedly the big Protoss boss unit, but they're fucking terrible. For starters, when a carrier comes out without any upgrades on, it has the ability to summon a total of 4 interceptors, and interceptors cost 25 minerals apiece. And interceptors also have no shielding natively, no air armor or plasma shields, and their normal attack is kind of pitiful. The big thing that interceptors have going for them is that because there's so many of them, they have a relatively short build cycle. They have the advantage of being relatively easy to replace, and also sowing a bunch of chaos in enemy ranks usually. However, that only really tends to work against players. Against the computer, they're going to focus on the interceptors for some goddamn reason, unless your carriers get too close. If your carriers do get within attack range of your opposition, then the AI will actually focus on the carrier instead in order to take it down, just like it's supposed to. But with 4 interceptors out, I don't actually even know what the interceptor base attack damage is. I think it's 6. It's like either 6 or 8. So although they have relatively fast attack speed and you get a lot of them, if you have a decent number of carriers at least, it's never fucking worth it. It is significantly better to spend the psi and minerals on dragoons, or hell, even scouts technically, so that you have got access to at least some sort of dedicated anti-air.
Which leads me to a question I had. So this mission, like other missions, requires you to build in a particular direction using a system of...
You can totally ignore the intended method. You do not have to use carriers at all. You can just leave this one alive for the entirety of the mission defending your base. And I am most thankful for that, because fuck carriers. They want you to build carriers, but you don't have to.
Right. So, and they want you and necessitate, actually quite often, that you build very particular vehicles and attack units in other missions, just like how they kind of are nudging towards the carrier. So my question is, in the name of game design, do they make it easier to build these units than otherwise? Because I noticed that they always preload a base with just arbitrary buildings.
The correct answer to that is fuck no, because carriers are the second to last tier unit that the Protoss get access to. So, in order to build a carrier from our starting base, we would need to build a cybernetics core, then we would need to get into a Stargate, and then we would need to build a fleet beacon. Please note that James is about to fucking die.
And we are about to fail.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Feels good to almost be dead.
Okay,
I'll go
what I have
12 and
done
0.
is I have cut past us officially building the rest of our base up and getting our dragoons. You notice that I've done a little bit of scouting out of our base, but look at this shit. I'm not kidding when I tell you that they are pretty much constantly
the
sending
Saints are
forces at
marching
us.
in. Oh my god, it's 3 Reavers.
Yes,
we
it's
are
3
fucked.
Reavers with dragoon support, and they probably also have some observers.
Oh yeah, here
comes.
Here comes the death. Yep. Ooh. Okay, we lost a few boys, but I think there are... Why? Because he's he's selectively targeting James because he knows that he's a mission objective and he's very low on health, and if he dies, you lose the game.
No, actually, it's actually because if we as we are coming down to attack this particular base, you should start to notice that he only has like 4 units on resource gathering, and Reavers are relatively expensive. They're like 200. They're like 200 minerals and 100 Vespane. But he's got 4 dudes total on resources. 2 on minerals and 2 on Vespane. Look at this shit.
Well, you can observe what he's gaining, but you don't know what he has.
Oh, that's the thing. We know for a fact that means that he has gotten significantly. He just started with a bunch load more resources than we did. And not only did he start with a bunch more resources than we did, they have the ability to just flat out generate resources. Because look, they're sending in additional Reavers from offside the fucking map.
Kill the Reavers,
that they
kill
cannot
the
have
Reavers,
possibly
kill
built
the Reavers.
with that amount of resource gathering. I'm supposed to imply that there's a second purple base, but there isn't. You get this purple outpost, and there's a bunch of smaller purple
James,
buildings.
Come back!
No, I actually told
Jimmy.
him to Yamato Cannon, the carrier that was coming in after us.
James, you are going to the corner where you will be safe.
He's not safe in the corner either, because scouts will get him there. But yeah, this mission took me at least two attempts, and now I'm building up probes at my main base to send them down to this base, so I can actually populate this base with resource gathering, so that I can continue playing this particular mission. Because if you'll notice, at home we're about halfway spent through our minerals, and I'm pretty sure we're more than halfway spent on our Vespane as well. I don't bother to check our Vespane fucking ever. I just know that it's about ready to run out at all times.
Well, it's a damn good thing that we had just made room, and there's a boy. He's gonna start building a base over here.
There's another thing that I have to mention, though. The whole reason that the AI is able to actually pressure us so hard early on is because there are two, count them, two different bases, one to our east and one to our south, that we have to take down if we want to feel safe in this mission. It is bullshit what they expect you to do here. Yeah.
Well, they might be just on a script. Every 20 seconds, build a reaver.
But here's the thing: it takes longer than 20 seconds to get 200 minerals with 4 fucking probes.
I think we just gotta give it to the AI that the AI has. If the AI was not intelligent and not arbitrary, even predictable, then well, it wouldn't make much for a campaign mission. Not to mention that this is one of the final missions in the game.
Yeah, no more scouting for Mr. Raynor. He is too much damaged. All right, see, our
Good.
best big
You'll
geyser
have to
has been
replace
depleted.
Jimmy. Dang it.
I want to keep one probe on there specifically
Now, in
because...
StarCraft 2,
Keep going.
in StarCraft 2, do the Protoss also get to, like, simultaneously build units with just one guy initiating each of the builds?
Ooh. I'm not entirely sure what you're attempting to say there.
So, I played Terran pretty much exclusively in StarCraft 2, and every time an SCV needed to build something, it was just the one guy who had to stand there.
You're asking if probes warp in and then can go to other tasks, right?
Right.
Yep. It is a lore slash flavorable flavor thing for Protoss. They don't actually build buildings; they warp them from a stockpile above orbit.
Right. My observation is that that is a totally different style, because that means that the remaining guys get to harvest minerals, or hell, even start building shit on their own.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that the Protoss have that unique nuance to their development style, because it probably speeds things up.
Past Gurdet does not like this mission. Present Gurdet also does not like this mission, as he has already spoken about.
These guys love arranging themselves in very perfect honeycomb shapes.
That's mostly because of how the waypoints work. You see, the first unit to land on the waypoint stops moving, but everyone else, this happens very, very clearly with Dragoons, will attempt to continue to move onto that waypoint until it is opened up again. Yeah, Past Gerda is frustrated because, yeah, Fog of War makes it so that if your Dragoons are attempting to go through a spot that they don't have direct vision on, they can actually get stuck on trees. Just stuck. They will stand behind a tree and go up and down, waiting for the best path to open. But they're waiting on a tree, so the best path doesn't ever actually fucking open because it's a tree.
So if they don't know that the path is around the tree, they will get stuck on the tree.
Yes, they will in fact get stuck on a tree. I haven't actually had them get stuck on trees before, but you saw it in the Amerigo mission for a Protoss, that the Dragoon would attempt to climb up the ramp, lose sight of what the top of the ramp was, and then go back down the goddamn ramp.
Now we need to kill the other base.
Yeah, the one that's
up the
to the east of
ramps.
us. Thankfully, this mission only has a couple of ramps that we have to deal with. What I'm trying to do here is have Raynor snipe down some photon cannons in preparation for the attack that we're going to do, because the Yamato gun one-shots photon cannons. It's the one major reason why Jonah and Taylor will not play against me if I'm playing as Terran and they choose to play as Protoss. because I pretty much only build battle cruisers when I'm playing as Terran. So I will just Yamato cannon Jonah's field of I will just Yamato cannon the field of photon cannons that Jonah has built, and just walk and just fly through it from there.
Right. Wow. But why don't they shoot back at the cruiser though?
They can't. The Yamato cannon's got a longer attack range than the photon cannons do.
That is ridiculous. And you know where the range cutoff is.
Oh God,
you
no!
weasel, you.
I do not know where the range
Well,
cutoff
how are you
is.
so good? You make people want to quit this game.
Because I know that I have the ability to trust the AI enough to the point where I know that if I give it a command, it'll attempt to execute that command at maximum range. However, that doesn't necessarily mean they'll do that command well at maximum range. They'll just attempt to do it at maximum range.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna need more pylons.
Oh, we got the Emperor's New Groove, 126 units standing by.
I like Emperor's New Groove. I know it's not actually one of the better of the early 2000s Disney movies, but I don't care. It's a fun movie.
Emperor's New Groove honestly was probably the best animated movie that had David Spade in a lead role.
Yeah, I will totally buy that.
Even had Patrick Warburton. Like, are you effing serious?